I believe Congress should act to delist CCP-affiliated companies until there is a parity of treatment for Western businesses in China. If we can't own stocks in their country, they should not be allowed to own stocks in the U.S. Unless businesses can operate in China with the same freedoms that Chinese businesses have here, we should not let their businesses operate in the U.S. We should exit China's marketplace until the CCP makes significant reforms. I want to use my opening statement to shine a light on an issue that impacts millions of American investors, many of whom have invested their retirement funds in the equity markets. The threats posed by the Chinese Communist Party I will discuss today impact anyone and everyone like me who has tried to do business in China, everyone that invests in the stock market, anyone that invests in passive investment vehicles like international index funds or mutual funds, any retail investor that invests in Chinese companies, anyone who invests internationally in emerging markets like China, and everyone with a 401k plan or pension invested in international index funds. I have nothing against the Chinese people. Their contributions to science and art over the millennia are well documented. It's their government I take issue with. In my opinion, since joining the WTO in 2000, the Chinese government has never played by its rules. This has led to the CCP to passing various laws in the realm of cybersecurity, espionage, intelligence, and beyond, and other mechanisms to control its corporations, industries, and business partnerships, all to the detriment of U.S. investors. This is not a new phenomenon. It has been part of the long game China's been playing for decades. Let me just elaborate briefly on a few reasons why the time for us to address this matter is today. In its desire to reduce state-run companies and their holdings in them, the Chinese government divested itself from them. However, in return for taking a 1% share in the company, the government is granted a seat on the board, voting power and influence over all business decisions. It's effectively a super voting right. This is the so-called golden share that she is using today to control the potential sale of TikTok. If China maintaining control of companies wasn't bad enough for investors, China prevents foreigners from owning Chinese companies. Instead, they're cleverly exploiting the U.S. financial system creation of variable interest entities, VIEs, to approximate the ownership of corporate shares. If you own stock in a company like Tencent, Alibaba, or ICBC, you don't actually own stock in a company. You own a share of a contract of something in the Cayman Islands that is trying to approximate stock ownership. The U.S. has given China preferential treatment for over a decade through its own special memorandum of understanding that governs accounting standards and oversight. This sweetheart deal with the Public Accounting Oversight Board, the PCAOB, has allowed China to continue to game the U.S. financial system via their special treatment that is not afforded to other countries, even our allies. This is a completely unbalanced and non-reciprocal situation. And why do we allow this? How can this be viewed in any way as fair to American investors? There should be complete parity between the U.S. and China. I believe Congress should act to delist CCP-affiliated companies until there is a parity of treatment for Western businesses in China. If we can't own stocks in their country, they should not be allowed to own stocks in the U.S. Unless businesses can operate in China with the same freedoms that Chinese businesses have here, we should not let their businesses operate in the U.S. We should exit China's marketplace until the CCP makes significant reforms. We should demand that all Chinese companies engage in U.S. markets complied with U.S. accounting standards. For decades across multiple administrations, we have discussed leveling the playing field with China. Instead, the situation has only gotten worse. Make no mistake, I want to do business in China, as so do millions of other investors and companies. But we want reciprocal ecosystem in place that is transparent, where all parties play by the rules mutually agreed upon. I want access to Chinese legal systems so trade and IP grievances can be litigated and resolved. The Chinese enjoy these rights in the U.S. Why do we not have them in China? Lately, there's been a lot of rhetoric about, during negotiations globally, on who holds the cards, quote unquote. The U.S. is still the world's largest market, supported by the world's largest economy under the rule of democratic law. That is why so much of the world's capital is invested here. That's a lot of leverage. Let's fix this Chinese problem while we still hold the cards. I look forward to a robust conversation today and answering any questions you may have. Thank you.